Hey guys, what's up? Hope you can hear me well. This is Chris Barron for your weekly live chat thing for the 6th of September 2020. So this is it, the 6th of September 2020. Chris Barron, let's get started. Let's see what's what. So what we're gonna do today, we're gonna award somebody. We're gonna give away $20 for the weekly design competition. This time we had a contest about 10 Photoshop questions, basically a quiz, and I got a few entries. I got a little less entries than before, so I think you guys prefer the visual stuff a bit more than that. And then we're gonna talk about productivity just a little bit, because I have one approach that may surprise you. It's something a bit uncommon. But first, let's jump straight into it. Let's jump into the award ceremony, because I'm gonna need your help to pick a winner. So without any further ado, let's get started. Let's see what's what. Let's share the screen. This is the screen. Let's go live, and now let's see what's what. So basically, again, the task for $20 was to come up with 10 questions, 10 Photoshop related questions with things that you found a bit tricky, with things that weren't all that straightforward, right? So some things that could potentially throw you off guard. We have several entries. We have this one right here, just text. We have a Google form right here. Plus, we have a couple of other ones in this PNG format. And we're gonna briefly go over them. I'm not gonna go through every single question, but the idea is, again, this is absolutely essential, the way you present yourself. So again, you have to take this as seriously as possible. You have to consider myself, you have to consider this as a proper contest, as a $1,000 contest, as a $2,000 contest, right? Because I think that's one of the things that a lot of people really make a huge mistake, right? For example, I'm constantly talking to one of my premium students and I'm constantly saying, hey, you have to improve your English. You have to keep your phrases much shorter. You have to keep things simple, because when he writes, he constantly writes 2-3 paragraphs, and it's obviously a lot to take in, right? So I'm constantly telling him, hey, you have to treat me like a client. You can't really practice speaking in one way, and then when you're dealing with the client, speaking another way. So what you have to do is, from start to finish, you have to practice in a certain manner, in a professional manner. So this is what I'd like to see from you guys. I'd like you to take these competitions like, again, it's like for $5,000, like it's for the serious client. Don't consider, hey, this is just Chris, this is just a friendly competition. Consider this is actual training. The problem is, people, when they train with 5-pound dumbbells, when the actual competition is with 50 pounds. So again, what you have to do is you have to make sure that your training is as serious as possible. So when it comes down to it, when the actual clients come in, you already have everything buttoned up. You already know how to speak, how to act, how to have the conversations and whatnot. So let's jump straight into it, and I'll come back to this point because I think you're about to see what's what. So one of the things that I got was this one, right? Now, again, this is something where I think most of you guys can tell this is not cool, right? This is not professional in the slightest bit, right? So again, this is what I'm saying. You can't ever show a client something like that. You can't come up with a design like this one and expect to get a good review. I mean, there's no margin whatsoever on the left side, nothing at the top. The font choice is really peculiar. The color itself is really strange. There's not enough space in between each item. So overall, that's a mess. And this is what I'm saying. Why would you present yourself in such a manner? That's not professional in the slightest bit. And I understand that not everybody here wants to freelance. I understand that everybody here wants to make a career after this. But again, no matter what you do, put the time into it exactly like you would if this were a $5,000 contest. Take it seriously. If you're not going to take it seriously, when are you going to take it seriously? Because that's something that people don't really realize. They say, okay, I'm gonna act in a certain way, but then when it's crunch time, I'm gonna somehow magically switch up. Don't switch up. You're not gonna be able to switch up. From start to finish, act in a professional manner. speak in a professional manner, present your work in a professional manner. Because again, there's no quickly switching it on and off, right? You're not gonna see me, write shorthand, right? You're not gonna see me write something like ASL, PSL, or whatever, right? Weight or things like that, W8. I'm not gonna speak that way because I don't want to get in the habit of speaking that way, right? I want to be as professional as possible. This is why, whenever possible, I actually try to write with the first letter capitalized because that's the professional way. This is why I try my best to put in full periods, right, or commas, because again, that's professional. That's what clients expect from you. Okay, now back to it. Let me share my screen again. Now, regardless of the quality of these questions, this immediately gets at least 2-3 points knocked off, right? So if we're talking from 1 to 10, immediately this is at most a 7, at most probably a 6, because again, it's jarring. It's something you as a Photoshop enthusiast, you can't present yourself like this way. Let's see which one is the correct hotkey. Hotkey is all one word for the clipping mask. Okay, which tool we use for selecting one anchor point? This is not the correct spelling. From a shape. We cannot pick a color from outside the Photoshop. This is not phrased correctly. Default canvas size for the nap icon. We can't go back to normal layers after making some layers as a smart object. Ugh. So okay, the English isn't great. The presentation isn't great. I think this can be immediately eliminated. This is not a good look, right? Now let's see which one. Let's go with this one. So okay, this one looks pretty good. The thing is, this specific designer, he actually used my presentation, my PSD. So these are some of the colors I actually use in one of my courses. I think it's Master Web Design in Photoshop, I believe. So that's pretty smart. That's pretty smart because again, if you use something that the client already loves, so I actually love purple and I love Montserrat, this specific font, you're bound to get more points. So again, that's using your head, right? If you know I love orange, obviously put orange inside it, right? So I commend you for that. I think that's really smart. ASL is age, sex, location. It's just shorthand. It's something that you shouldn't do. You shouldn't write in that fashion. That was my point. You shouldn't write that fashion, even though it's a bit, obviously, with just being friendly on Discord, right? It's just a place where we have some fun, where we talk and whatnot. So you might say, okay, there's no point in writing professionally here. There's no point in, acting all buttoned up here, right? When it's just us. But actually, it makes loads of sense for you to actually practice being professional, being respectful, because again, you're going to be that much more comfortable when you're actually talking to a company or a client. Now, back to it. Photoshop quiz. What is the name of these tools? So this is looking pretty good, actually. This is pretty okay. But unfortunately, these aren't tools. These are the filters. So because of that, this is not a great question. I love the fact that you actually included the answer. So this is a bit more professional than the previous one, obviously. I don't no, actually that's pretty good. What is the use of, this is not the right spelling of shortcut. Okay. This is a pretty good question, but it's not something that I would like to see. This is actually pretty good. What's the name of this tool? This is pretty good, yeah. Which hotkey hide undyed? Okay, so again, it's difficult. I sometimes make typos myself. I sometimes write in broken English because of various things. I'm in a rush, keyboard or whatever. But again, guys, you have to make sure that everything is buttoned up. Before you hit that send button, you have to make sure everything is perfect. It's not being a perfectionist. It's not being, OCD or whatever. It's being professional. Because again, I actually had a conversation here, I think, with King. And the idea was, you have to make that switch from $100 to $1,000. And if you want to make that switch, your skills, you'll find they're not the end all be all, right? It's the way you present yourself. It's the way you present your work. It's how you talk to the client. It's how you make a contract. It's how you make your invoices. All those little things actually make a difference. But if you don't take yourself seriously, right? If you just think that you're just a kid that's just playing in Photoshop, you're never gonna make it to that $5,000 range, right? Because again, I know some of you guys, you're actually really talented. You have the potential to make easily $5,000 per month by working in Photoshop, no matter if it's web design or social media or whatever it is. But the problem is you don't believe in yourself, and that's something we're going to talk about in the second half. So overall, this is pretty good. Which one of these command or the hotkey is the destructive command? The destructive command? The destructive command? Come on. Okay, so even though the presentation is pretty good, the actual content here, I've actually read all the questions beforehand. The presentation itself isn't that great. Moving on, let's see. Immediately, can you spot the big difference here? Can you spot the big difference in terms of presentation? So again, this was so sleek, so nice to look at, you know. The width is exactly as it should be. I think it's 1200. Yeah, it's beautiful. 1200 is very precise, very nice and clean. All of a sudden right here, we're jumping into a messy situation. So again, just imagine that you're the contest holder. From that to that, it's night and day, right? We didn't even actually read any of the questions, and immediately we love the purple one and we hate this one. At least I hate this one. I'm not sure how you guys feel about it, but initially my first reaction is, ugh, come on, man. But let's have a quick look. So you find two images on the web. You find two images on the web to achieve the following desired result. Which image should be used? Oh, okay. This is a JPEG. This is a PNG. Okay, pretty tricky, but a desired result. This is totally unclear. Totally unclear. Two vector images are made up of pixels which can be scaled to any size. Vector images are actually made out of algorithms. It's not exactly precise to call them pixels per se, but yeah, I think I know what you mean. What is the output of the following layers panel? So this one, I really spent a lot of time on it. So let's see. Hello, designer. I would really love your help, guys, here. So this is all one question, right? And the stroke is being applied. Oh, sorry. So, no. Sorry. I keep thinking I got it, but then I don't. I'm guessing we're gonna toggle the visibility of this layer, and then we have to choose what's gonna happen. Help. So this, what is the output of this doesn't make any sense. And this right here, oh, so this one is actually tied to number one. Okay. So as you can see, guys, this is really difficult to follow. This is, again, time consuming, bothersome. It's not something that I would enjoy going through, right? It's difficult, and again, because of those reasons, we're not going to waste any more time on it. It doesn't make any sense. The answers, again, I appreciate the fact that they're here. I hate this font. I think this is Arial Nado, by the way. I'm not really sure why you would change the font here. And I'm not really sure why you wouldn't trim it like this. You want to hide the answers, sure, but it really doesn't make that much sense. So because of that, this is rubbish. This is going to be eliminated as well. Here's another one. This is how it looks like. We have loads of space at the top and on the left side. Photoshop questions. Which tool is used to make this pattern? This pattern. I'm guessing the gradient tool. I have no idea, actually. The select tool, the clone stamp tool. This is, yeah. Okay, can Photoshop create every single color of the real world? That's an odd question. Okay. How many colors was the minimum price? Why is minimum and price with a capital letter? That doesn't make any sense. This is unprofessional. How can you select a color? Again, it's really difficult. It's really difficult. Again, it's something where I feel like I've worked with at least 50 clients in the past, whatever period. And again, it's really not politically correct, but most of them have said the following, and it's really hurtful. They said, "Hey Chris, you're the breath of fresh air, and I love working with you because I feel like I can really communicate with you, and you get me, right? I'm tired of all these insert whatever Indians, Pakistan, whatever, all sorts of people." So this is something that I've constantly heard from clients, specifically on 99 Designs, and obviously that's really hurtful, because I'm again one of my best coders is from India, and I absolutely love him, and I don't think it's correct to actually make a blanket statement like everybody from Pakistan sucks or whatever. I think that's really nasty. But again, I think the reason why clients usually are being so hurtful with their words is because they're fed up with English, with bad English. And again, my English isn't that great either, but it's really something that I managed to again, just looking back at things on 99 Designs. I've won at least 15 contests where my design was worse than other ones rated 5 stars, right? And I really felt like a fraud. I really thought, man, why did he choose me? Because after the final stage, you see all the designs, right? And then again, time after time, clients said this, Chris, I chose you because I can have a conversation with you. I'm fed up with people that can't, I can't have any type of meaningful, communication, because they just don't get it. And again, those blanket statements, those things that are really hurtful regarding people from whatever country, it's quite a shame. But because of that, I managed to really put all my chips on that specific thing, on my decent English, and I managed to win quite a lot. And I really feel like that's one of the things you should really work on. I really feel like, if possible, just open up Notepad and write a few things. Hey, my name is whatever, whatever. Just write a few paragraphs. Make sure they're in perfect English, and make sure you use those. Make sure you use certain phrases that make sense, right? For example, loads of people say something, give feedback, right? Give feedback. That's not the correct way, or the give a review, right? And even I sometimes get bothered by it because, again, it's not cool. Please, Chris, can I get a review? May I get a review, right? So that's something where I really feel like a lot of people can really improve. Because again, all I want you to do is, do your best, earn the most money that you can, create a beautiful portfolio, create a beautiful life through Photoshop. That's the only thing, right? Getting back to it, because we're straying away. This isn't all that great. I like the presentation. I think it's pretty good, but the questions overall aren't that great. So because of that, right now, I think this is the front runner. But now it's time to move over here. And now I have 2 more entries. We have this one right here, which is, again, not all that easy to read. It's a bit difficult, and unfortunately there are only 2 possible answers for each of the 10 questions. So I am not really a fan of that. You can see here that only 2 possible answers. This is pretty good. These are some of the things that I actually use in my quizzes on Discord as well. But I think it's very clear cut. Here's another one that I got from one of my students, from Manisha, and I think it's night and day, right? I think, no, sorry, you can't submit right now. The contest is over. I think it's night and day between everything. So this is the best one. And then this is probably the second one in terms of actual presentation. Because this student used Google Forms, I think it's just a night and day difference, right? It's a breath of fresh air, and I really appreciate it. The questions that are correct. There are a few spelling mistakes here and there, but overall, I think this is fantastic. For example, this is pretty good. This is pretty good as well. This one is pretty good as well. So overall, there are a few questions here that really make sense. I specifically love this one. Pick the serif font. Something really basic, but it's actually quite nice. It's actually quite good. I appreciate the presentation. I appreciate the fact that she went ahead and chose several fonts here. So overall, good stuff. So because of that, Manisha, you're the winner. I think there's no question about it. between all these entries, I think yours was hands down the most professional, the best one out of the lot in terms of, again, styling, but also the substance, the actual questions, right? So because of that, congratulations, Manisha. I really appreciate you. Thank you so much for the participating. I think that's really cool. Now, I would like a few more minutes, just 5-10 minutes, about something that I really feel like a lot of people struggle with, and that's obviously motivation, and it's something where you really feel stuck in a rut. You really don't feel like working. So I'm browsing around from time to time on Dribble, on Behance, and whatever, and I see some of these designs, and obviously at a certain point you feel, okay, man, I can't really compete. 99 Designs is filled with incredible people. Behance is filled with incredible people. These are world-class sprinters. They're Usain Bolt, and I'm just walking. I'm just learning to walk. How can I possibly do anything? So here's one trick that I actually use to get my engines up and running at full speed, and it's something quite quite strange, and it's the following. Sometimes I don't look at all at these designs, at these design galleries. Instead, what I like to do is I like to do the following. I like to open up YouTube, and I like to look at various people in Lamborghinis. I like to look at various people that are incredibly rich, whether it's young people or the old people, it really doesn't matter. And I have a few models here, and I have a few people that I follow here in Romania. And you can see, $400,000 cars, Lamborghinis, Ferraris, and whatnot, and that's not actually the thing that really gets me going. What really gets me going is the fact that you can see that these people, they aren't, let me put it like this, the cream of the crop. They aren't the smartest people in the world. They aren't the most talented people, the most hardworking people, the brightest of the bunch, right? So that really gets me going, because when I see someone, right, in a Lamborghini with a $500,000 car or whatever, and I find them to be not all that great, let's put it like that, so not the sharpest tool in the shed, or however you want to call it, that really gets me going. That really gets me going because I feel like everybody has an ego. I really feel like everybody has a decent amount of self-esteem. And when you look at someone, you can even look at me, right? When you look at someone and you consider them stupid or silly or dumb or whatever you want to call them, and you feel like, man, I'm much smarter than this. I'm much more of a hard worker than this guy is, right? I'm much better in loads of other areas than this guy in his $500,000 car. That really gets me going. That actually really makes me positive, and it really makes me want to work more. It makes me want to open up Photoshop and, bang out some of the best designs that I could make, right? So when I see someone with tremendous success and I feel like I'm a bit above them, no matter in what regard, that really gets me going. That's really something that, I feel like it's another way to go about it, right? Because why not? This is actually something that I have learned from Gary Vaynerchuk. Because the problem is, when most people, when they look at Dribble or whatever, you're constantly comparing yourself to someone who is incredible in your eyes, right? You put them on a pedestal, you feel like they're a god, right? But on the other hand, when you see someone so high that's, so financially stable, so financially wealthy or whatever, but they can't really string two words together, or they suck at whatever, you feel like, I'm better than that. Well, if I'm better than that, that means that I can at least match his winnings. That means that, I can easily get that Lamborghini as well. Because if he sucks, if that guy, can't articulate two words, and I can, then obviously I can at least match his success. So that's one of the ways I get myself started in the morning. I look at people that are incredibly wealthy, and, I just imagine, I just ask myself, are they smarter than me? Are they more gifted than me? And the answer most of the time is no, because I obviously cherry pick those certain people, right? And if the answer is no, and then I obviously jump into it, and again, I feel much better. The last final thing that I really want to say, I would really love to see your desks. I would really love to see your workspace, how you have everything set up. Because again, I feel that's one of the things that really makes a big difference when you want to improve your productivity. So I might have a contest like that, just snap a photo of your desk or something, because I really feel like a clean desk and you stand up straight, with your feet planted and whatnot. I really feel like that makes a big difference, because again, this is a marathon. This is something where just recently I've actually recreated my cover images, my course images on Udemy. And I spent at least 2 hours for that, for just one small little design, right? And those 2 hours, they were really fantastic. I loved every minute of it, because I tried this and that and this and that. And again, the whole process is beautiful, but it takes a very long time. It takes, again, hours upon hours. So if you want to be able to actually perform for hours upon hours, you need a clean desk. You need to be in good health. You need your eyes to be okay. You need a bottle of water immediately right next to you. You have to have all these things right next to you, because if you don't have that, you're not going to be able to keep up. Because again, it's basically a numbers game. The more hours that you can work, the better. But the problem is, if you work 20, I'm sure that you can work 12 hours today, right? But can you continue to work 12 hours tomorrow? Let's say you're able to do that for 2 days, right? Maybe 3 days, right? But after a certain point, you burn out. Now, I've been working about 10 hours at the minimum per day for about 15 years. And the fact that I'm still fairly healthy, that I don't have glasses, that I'm in pretty good health and I'm in pretty good physical condition, that means the world to me, right? And if everything falls apart with my healthy meal company, with everything, with my courses, with everything, I'm confident that I still have that work capacity. I'm still able to be incredibly productive. And again, I'm able to do that not just because I have some incredible discipline in my mind, or that I was raised in a military family or whatever, because I was not. It's just a small little things, right? For example, one of the most important things is, if you have your feet flat on the floor, they have to be in front of your knees. So that's something that, who actually talks about that on YouTube, right? If you watch whatever videos or whatever regarding how to be a better designer, nobody actually tells you, hey, put your feet flat on the floor and in front of your knees. Because nobody cares about that, right? But the problem with that, why I like to speak about those types of things, it's because if your knees hurt as hell, you won't be able to sit at your desk, you won't be able to get better. If you can't physically put in those 10 or 12 hours each and every day, you won't be able to get better. So again, it's basically a learning curve. As you put in those 10 hours or 12 hours, you slowly get better, right? But it's a marathon. It's a matter of patience. It's a matter of slowly going up. So because of that, again, longevity is key. Consistency is key. So because of that, again, the bottle of water is here. My mechanical keyboard is beautiful. It's expensive, but it's 100% worth the money. My chair is fantastic, and I constantly sit at a decent position. I never put my feet up or whatever on the desk. So I'm pretty sure that these types of things, they're incredibly important, and I really feel like I have to address them in an update in my freelancing course. Because again, I'm pretty sure that me, a Photoshop instructor, teaching you to drink water and how to position your feet versus your knees, I know that doesn't make sense. But in fact, at least to me, this makes me able to work much longer. And because of my longevity, because I'm still healthy and I can put in time and time again 8, 10, 12 hours per day, that makes me better. So that's something that I really feel like you should focus on. So number one is being more professional, writing in perfect English, creating certain phrases where you just open up a notepad and you just write them in. Hey, whatever, this is that. Here's why I did that, etc., etc. So that's something. Really work on your English every single time, because this is one reason why I'm doing these podcasts. Right? I don't get a lot of views on YouTube. I don't get a lot of people here watching me every single day, but it does improve my English. Because obviously here in Romania, we don't really use English all that often, right? I don't really have conversations in English. So this is basically my training ground, right? And the next time I'm going to record another course where I have to speak in English, this is my training. I'm taking it seriously. 30 minutes, twice a week. And this will improve my English. This will improve my clarity. As you can see, I'm still stuttering. I still have trouble here and there. But that's fine. That's totally fine. Even if some of you guys may make fun of me, that's totally fine because I'm learning right now, right? And that's the same approach you should have regarding your design skills. It doesn't matter if it sucks right now. You're getting better, and you made a mistake. You left the line height at auto, but then no matter. I said, okay, you should use 1.5 multiplier. You got better, and that's really what matters. Getting better each and every single day, right? So again, write, be professional in how you write is really important. Make sure in every single email, in every single message on Discord that you're as professional as possible. Make sure that if you're working in Photoshop, I actually closed it. Make sure that your designs are obviously decent. If you need inspiration, just have a look at some people that you feel that you're smarter than they are, you're better than they are, whatever that means, just as a healthy boost to your ego, right? So that's again something that's a bit controversial, but I really feel like sometimes it really gets me going, rather than just looking at the best designers in the world and me comparing my skills versus them and then getting depressed. That doesn't make any sense, right? And yeah, finally, it's one of those things where you have to practice each and every day and think about your longevity. Just think about what you're going to be able to do in 2 years from now and 5 years from now. You suck right now, but what's going to happen in 2 years and 4 years and 5 years? And if you just improve 1% a day, 1%, that's all that it takes, right? First of all, you improve your color use, then you improve your gradient use, then you improve your typography, then you improve your spacing, then the use of your illustrations and whatnot. So every single day you make something, you get a review from me. You fix that mistake and you slowly get better. And again, the way you get better is putting the time in. And to obviously put the time in, you have to be in tip-top physical condition. You have to make sure that your eyes are okay, that you're staying hydrated, that you're using face creams and whatever, that you're using some of the best supplements that can aid your mind, that you're running, that you're doing cardio and whatnot. So again, I know that it really doesn't make any sense, me, a certified Adobe instructor, telling you to go run if you want to make better designs. But I strongly believe that's the case. I strongly believe that's going to make you a better designer in the end. Taking care of yourself and obviously loving yourself, loving your body and your mind, and putting the effort in and appreciating the journey. I really believe that's going to make a difference at the end of the day. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. This is Chris signing out. We're going to talk more on Wednesday. I'm going to start a new design competition. This time it's going to be a design one. Most likely, and I'll see. I would really love to see your desks though. I'll see how I can sneak that into a contest somehow, because again, having a clean desk I really feel is something that can really help your work. But again, thank you guys so much for tuning in. This is Chris Barron signing out. Thank you so much and have a good one. Bye.